Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This video contains discussions of severe child abuse, neglect, and emotional trauma. It may be upsetting to some viewers. Please proceed with caution. He was just a little boy, 5 years old. He wanted to be Superman, not to be a hero in the spotlight, but because he wanted to fly away, fly far from the pain, from the cold, from the darkness. Jeffrey Baldwin's story isn't just another true crime case. It is a heartbreaking story of a child betrayed by the very people meant to protect him. It's a deep wound in the soul of a nation and a brutal reminder that monsters can hide in plain sight. This is Secrets in the Shadows, and today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most haunting cases in Canadian history, the true story of Jeffrey Baldwin. Jeffrey was born January 20th, 1997, in Toronto, Ontario. His parents, Richard Baldwin and Yvonne Kidman, were young and struggling to provide a stable home. Like many families in difficult situations, their names came to the attention of the Catholic Children's Aid Society, or CCAS. In 1998, the agency decided that the children would be better off placed with relatives. They handed over Jeffrey and his 3 siblings to his maternal grandparents, Elva, Bottineau, and Norman Kidman. It was meant to be a safer environment, a second chance, but it was the beginning of a nightmare. What the CCS didn't realize or chose to ignore was that Bottineau had been convicted years earlier of child abuse in the death of her infant daughter, Ava, and Kidman had been found guilty of assaulting children in 1978. The red flags were there. They were big. They were loud. And yet, no one listened. Inside that East York home, Jeffrey was living a hidden horror. He and one of his sisters were separated from the other children and locked away in a filthy, unheated room. They weren't allowed to use the bathroom. They were forced to sit and sleep in their own waste. They were starved. Jeffrey would rummage for scraps, drink from the toilet, and eat his own vomit. This wasn't just neglect, it was torture. While the grandparents collected government checks for being caregivers, they did nothing to care. They used the money and let the children waste away. By the time he was found, Jeffrey weighed just 21 pounds, the same as he did on his first birthday. On November 30th, 2002, Elva Bottineau called 911. She said Jeffrey had stopped breathing. When paramedics arrived, they found his skeletal body wrapped in a towel on the kitchen counter. His skin was paper thin, covered in sores. His face was hollow. His body was bruised. He looked like a child out of a World War II concentration camp. He was pronounced dead at Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children. What should have been a wake-up call years ago was now too late. The autopsy on Jeffrey Baldwin's body confirmed the full extent of his suffering. The report revealed that Jeffrey had been severely malnourished, weighing just 21 pounds at the time of his death, roughly the same as he did on his first birthday. His body was covered in sores, bruises, and scars, with clear signs of prolonged physical abuse. He had numerous broken bones, likely the result of beatings. His skin was paper thin, yellowed from starvation. The pathologist also noted that Jeffrey had a serious, untreated infection, likely contributing to his death. These findings painted a heartbreaking, vivid picture of the abuse Jeffrey endured. Neglect so severe, it left his body irreparably damaged. In 2003, Bottineau and Kidman were arrested. In 2006, They were found guilty of second-degree murder. Elva was sentenced to 22 years without parole. Norman, 20 years. But sentencing could never undo the damage. Justice came far too late. The coroner's inquest led to over 100 recommendations, including mandatory background checks, better communication between child welfare agencies, and training to spot abuse. Psychological assessments later showed Elva Bottineau had significantly below average intelligence. She was diagnosed with narcissistic and histrionic personality disorders. Norman Kidman was found to be emotionally immature with a tendency for explosive behavior. These weren't just flawed caregivers. They were unfit in every sense of the word. So why weren't they stopped? Because they saw Jeffrey and the other children as paychecks. And because the very system that was supposed to protect those kids didn't do its job. Years after his death, in 2013, a statue of Jeffrey was unveiled. He's wearing a Superman costume, the one he always dreamed of. After initially denying the use of the logo, DC Comics gave permission once they learned his story. The boy who never got to fly now flies forever in our memory. Jeffrey Baldwin was laid to rest by extended family members and strangers who refused to let him be forgotten. He was a child who wanted nothing more than love and safety. Instead, he found pain and silence. But his story must be told over and over until no child ever falls through the cracks again. Dear Jeffrey, you were just a little boy with big brown eyes, a quiet spirit, and a heart full of dreams. You didn't ask for much. All you wanted was to be loved, to be safe, to play, to fly like Superman. But instead of comfort, you were met with cruelty. Instead of hugs, you were given pain. The world failed you in every way it shouldn't have. But, Jeffrey, you mattered. You still matter. Your story has touched the hearts of millions. It has sparked outrage, tears, and calls for change. You will never again be hidden away in silence. We speak your name with love, with sorrow, with the hope that your legacy will protect other children from ever feeling the same fear and loneliness you endured. You should have had birthday parties, warm baths, a backpack full of school supplies, and a heart full of silly jokes. You should have grown up to chase your dreams. But now you soar higher than Superman ever could, free from pain, free from cold, wrapped in the peace you always deserved. We remember you, sweet boy. We fight for you. We love you. Rest in peace, Jeffrey Baldwin. May your soul forever be surrounded by the love you were denied in life. Thank you for watching Secrets in the Shadows. If this story moved you, please help us raise awareness. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another story like Jeffrey's. Let's honor his memory, not with silence, but with change. I'll see you in my next video.